Yo, 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 yo. What's going on? Nerd mixers, A-plussers, all out there. This is your review for Secret Invasion Episode 2, Promises. Now, this episode has some surprising moments, some very interesting dialogue, and a couple of dope, military-ass takedowns. So, it was something that I actually enjoyed. I'm loving the themes of this series, compared to other Marvel shows that we have watched. I'm loving what it feels like Samuel L. Jackson getting to be able to just really explore a different version of Nick Fury, like a more vulnerable, a more, I guess you could say, human, because he always seemed like he was untouchable. You know what I'm saying? All until that blimp, incident. That seemed like Nick Fury was always one step ahead of everybody. Like nothing could ever hurt him. We're seeing a lot different. We're understanding who this man is at his core as of late through 2 episodes. So this is very, very interesting to me, how this is going down as per se. We get flashbacks to, back in the day in Captain Marvel. Then we get like a flash forward, but still a flashback to like 97, I'm going to say, to where Talos is telling all the Skrulls that are on Earth that he trusts Fury, that Fury's going to help them find a new home. And then here comes Fury's spill about, you help me, I help you, as he's talking to these Skrulls, who then turn around and give their loyalty to Nick Fury because he's going to help them find a new home. There's a lady Skrull that introduces him to a young Gravik and tells Fury how Graviks lost his parents in the Skull Creed War, and how he will be beneficial to what was going on if he's raised the right way. Keynote, this lady Skrull. So we flash forward back to Gravik. That was just for Marcelino right there. That Gravik. Basically sitting there enjoying the destruction he caused, which in turn has Russia looking for retaliation. The U.S. basically saying that it was a false flag assault and World War looking like it's going to start. We even have Rhodey, sitting in front of heads of different foreign countries, explaining to them that the U.S. has no involvement in what's going on, and as soon as they know something, they'll be glad to help. Just trying to diffuse the situation so that we don't go into a war, because that's not beneficial for the U.S. But also letting them know that, look, we control the biggest army. You know what I'm saying? If we were going to come at you, we would have came at you. You would have known it was us, like type deal. But the U.S. does stuff under siege. If it's going to benefit them, they're going to do it. So it's actually seeing Don Cheadle, who is an amazing actor, actually get to do a little bit more in the MCU is really dope. I really, really dig that, and what's going on. Especially the dialogue with him and Sam Jackson going back and forth with each other. That was actually really, really dope. Just seeing these 2 amazing actors had this dialogue where Cheadle ends up firing him from his position, at S.H.I.E.L.D. With the government. And just him being like, look, that angry black man, said like, I did this. This only exists because of me, and this how you gonna do me? Do you know who I am? Going to that, I was really waiting on him to drop that. Do you know who I am, mother? Bomb. But we didn't end up getting that. But I felt like that was coming, and I really, that probably would have been dope if it would have happened. But whatever. You're seeing everything being stripped down from Fury and taken away in order, I guess, to build up and later understand who this individual, who this man really is. So maybe he needs all his vulnerabilities shown, and we need to see him at his lowest to truly understand how strong this man is, and the means to a particular end when he tries to save whatever he's going to save. Now, it's a lady. I missed her name because I only watched this episode once, and I only watched this episode like 2 or 3 times before I do this review. who comes in, I think it's Colleen, who comes into this warehouse, right, where they're torturing one of Graviks' soldiers, and they're getting information out of him. And you got Russians like they're beating him down. They can't get nothing from him. They cut off his finger. He still don't do nothing. She comes in and injects him with something that's making his blood burn from like the inside, and he gives all this information talking about Graviks working on this thing that could make skulls stronger. And everybody's like, man, what could this be? Could this be the answer to what he has when Graviks said that he has something in place in case the Avengers show up? And then we end up going, you know, the whole time Gaia, we don't know what side Gaia's on, because we do feel like after the first episode, Gaia fed her dad false information, or maybe Gravik, due to the fact of knowing, being one step ahead and knowing Gaia's situation, knows that she was going to feed him that information, and he's using Gaia in order to get Talos and Fury into the places that he wants them to be, right? So she's spying. She walks into a laboratory. She sees a machine, right? But in the machine, when she goes to the computer and she looks it up, she sees Sidian, Extremist, Frost Giant, the same Frost Giant that Thor killed, and Groot DNA in the machine. So the thing I'm thinking is either the Skrulls are going to turn into those individual characters, or we're getting a different version of Super Skrull with a different set of abilities. So it's almost scarier than the Super Skrull we know, because the Super Skrull with Call Obsidian, with Extremist, Frost Giant, and Groot abilities is going to be insane. So that's what actually I'm banking my money on that's going to be. All right. The train scene, which I feel like was another interesting scene, because Fury got Talos into play a game of tell me something that I don't know. And in that, while Fury was gone, he got Talos to tell him that it's a million Skrulls that came to Earth. So there's a million of them on Earth. And then Fury, like that moment, like, what? You must be out your reptilian mind, you know? So that's going to cause a problem, because when it was a very small, you know what I'm saying, fraction of them, is something he control. He can't control a million. He has no idea what all they infiltrated, what they done, just made his job that much harder. Now, the highlight of this episode to me, when it comes up, is the relationship between Talos and Fury. Because even though Fury's upset at Talos, Talos still listens to him, respects him, understand that he might have made the mistake, and because Talos took something into his own hands because he couldn't touch with Fury, which everything's actually Fury's fault, because he broke every promise that he tried to make, right? That because Fury wasn't there, Talos had to make a decision, and the decision he made was ultimately wrong. But if Fury had been there, would Talos have made a decision? That's what it comes to. Or if Fury would have kept his promise, would have happened? So it's interesting to me that their dynamic, and who ultimately is going to take the blame and what goes on. So by the time the series is over with, I want to see where their relationship stands with those two. Now, the final scene of the show takes us to Fury going home, right? And we see that same Lady Skrull that introduced Gravik in the kitchen, you know what I'm saying, chopping something up. Then by the time Fury turns the corner, she's changed into this beautiful black woman, right? And then she goes, you forget something? He walks back over to like the entry like desk or like end table, whatever that is, going to the kitchen, shows his ring, puts his ring on. Now, this is one of the things I love about Marvel. Y'all remember in Captain America's apartment where Fury sat down and said, you know what I'm saying, my wife kicked me out? So Priscilla Fury, you know what I'm saying? Whether Fury knows or not, which if he knows, it makes it that much better that she's a Skrull, or if they also so deep that they infiltrated Fury's family, that's the norm. I don't want that to happen. I don't want a Skrull to have taken over Fury, to take in the place of Fury's wife and there to know what he does. I'd rather Fury to be so invested in what's going on with the Skrulls because his wife is a Skrull. That's what would make this so much dope, because not only has he failed the Skrulls, he failed his wife, or maybe the reason why he didn't want to find them a home is because he would lose his wife that he was in love with. So that's interesting to me that they left off on that point, or they revealed something like that so early in episode 2. That's honestly one of the most interesting things to me about this series going forward. Let me know what you guys thought about this episode. Like I said, I'm into this. I'm invested. This is my type of television. I love the secret espionage and, you know what I'm saying, all that stuff. So kudos to them. And I love the themes of what's going on in the show. Tell us what you thought in the comments below. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And as always, keep it A+. Indy out.